Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be tackling a machine from VulnHub. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Today we are tackling a simple machine called Mercury. Before we can even attack the machine, we need to find the machine on our network. To do this, we just need to enter the following command: sudo netdiscovery -i, and the I stands for your interface, followed by etho, which is our interface in question. So our vulnerable machine IP address is 192.168.17.3. Of course, it may be different on your machine, but for me, that's the IP address that we're going to be attacking today. Now that we have our IP address, let's go ahead and run a nmap scan. This is a simple command. We're only using two flags, SV and SC. The SV lets us know what services are running and what versions those services are. The SC flag is just a collection of default scripts that nmap runs to help us discover any other additional vulnerabilities or worthwhile information. So with our scan done, we notice two ports that are open. Port 22 for SSH and an HTTP port of port 8080, and also there looks like we have the robots.txt file as well. When we go to our IP address followed by port 8080, we just get a message saying that this website is under construction. So let's go ahead and check out the robots.txt and see what we can find. So looking at the robots.txt file, it says here we can access a error page by entering an asterisk in our URL bar. So let's go ahead and do that and see what we can find. So it looks like the error page just leads to more directories. Let's go ahead and check out the Mercury fax directory and see what we got. So when we click load a fact, we're given a fact, but notice how there's a /1 there. When we put /2, /3, etc, we're just given another fact. So let's see if this is vulnerable to SQL injections. To do that, all we need to do is just enter SQL map followed by our target URL --database, and this lets us see if we can access any databases, and the --batch is used to not ask for user input. If you're asked additional questions during your scan, just go ahead and select yes. We want to make sure that we're testing for everything. So with our scan done, we have two databases. We have InfoSchema and Mercury. So let's go ahead and dump the contents of the Mercury database and see if we have anything worthwhile. We'll enter our target URL again, and then we'll add -d Mercury to indicate to SQL map that that's the database we want to take a look at. --dump -all just dumps all the contents that are in that database. And finally, our bash flag, which is just ignoring user input. So we're given a list of username and passwords. Chances are one of these is going to allow us to SSH into our target machine. But instead of testing each login one by one, we're going to go ahead and speed things up a bit using Hydra. So using Hydra, we're going to automate that process of all those login attempts that we would have to do with each username and password. So let's go ahead and start up Hydra. We have two files that I made. One is for usernames and the other one is for passwords. So let's go ahead and run this and see if we get an accurate match. And it looks like we have a match. So let's go ahead and use those credentials to SSH into our machine. Now that we're in the machine, when we do the ls command, we see that we have our user flag right here. Also, when we do sudo-l, this lets us know that the webmaster account doesn't have sudo rights. So let's do some digging around some more to see if we can find some additional clues to get our root flag. So when we cd into the Mercury projects folder, we see a notes.txt file. Let's go ahead and cat that out. So when we cat it out, we have two usernames. We have our webmaster username and we have Linux master. And it looks like these are passwords, but they're in base 64. So let's go ahead and decode this and see what we get. All we need to do to decode this is we're going to enter the following command, echo, followed by the text that we need to decode. We're going to pipe it out. We know that it's base 64, so we're going to put base 64 followed by D for decode. Alright, and we have our passwords in clear text. We're already logged in as webmaster, so let's use the credentials that we just discovered to log into Linux master. When we do sudo-l, we can see that Linux master has sudo rights to the check syslog script. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this to get our root privileges. When we cat the script out, we see that this script is meant to read the last 10 logs of the syslog file. So what do? How are we going to use this script to get root privileges on this machine? It's simple. Let me go ahead and walk you guys through it. We're going to preserve the environment, and what that means is we're going to create a link to our syslog script, and from there we're going to edit the file using the VI text editor, which will allow us to get root privileges. On screen is the commands right now. Go ahead and pause it if you need to type everything out. That last command that we're doing, it's going to go ahead and automatically open up the VI text editor for us. Now that we're in the VI text editor, all we need to do is just enter the bin bash like I have on screen here. Then when we hit enter, voila, we now have root privileges. We are now root. So let's go ahead and navigate to our root folder. And as you can see here is our root flag. Congrats guys, you just conquered the Mercury vulnerable machine. Give yourselves a round of applause. So I'm going to keep doing vulnerable machine walkthroughs for you guys, just something to keep the channel fresh. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. And like always, thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you on the next one.